All right, so I go by the name Nomad or Damon. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Don't say the Quinn because that's cringe to use my full government. This is.
I'm Jake. Don't use my last name. That's full government. I don't approve of that either. Jay Cobra as well, you know.
We're both hip hop artists. We've been doing this for coming up on a decade for me. How long have you? I feel like probably, 8 years? For
yeah,
you?
Probably like 8 years.
Next year will be a decade. I've been doing music. That's crazy. That's actually crazy to think about.
Been in the game a long time.
I've been doing this, but yeah. So we wanted to create a platform. It felt like the right time in our careers, so we created this podcast to talk about obviously music and pop culture and just generally anything of interest. We're not going to like limit ourselves topic wise because like that's just like it's good to carve out a little niche, and it will be like primarily music, but like we're just going to let things flow. You know what I mean? Like talk about whatever we're feeling.
Just let her slide.
That's what you got to do, baby.
Like a baby at the park.
The thought process. What have you been listening to lately? You've been doing. I know you. Last time we talked, you said you weren't really like doing a whole bunch with that stuff, but like, just curious if that's changed. Do you have like anything like that's been in your rotation this year? That's like album of the year contenders.
Of this year, I got nothing. I've been listening to zero music of this year.
None. Like none. None of it.
I don't know.
You didn't listen to that. I know you don't listen to like nerdy, like weirdo music like me, so you haven't heard that Danny Brown JPEG Mafia album.
Negative.
That was sweet, man. It has been a slow year though. Like it has overall. Like there's been stuff that I liked like quite a bit, but like, it's like it is a slow year. Like we were talking about it earlier. Is like it took 7-8 months to get a #1 rap album this year. Like,
yeah. What album is that?
There was I was about to say Utopia, but no, it was the Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert was the first #1 rap album this year. Then Utopia by Travis Scott. Utopia was there for like 4 weeks. Good. It was a good album.
I wouldn't listen to Lil Uzi's album.
You didn't even listen to it. It had a lot of highs, you know what I mean? That's how most Lil Uzi projects are. I find it's like there's highs and then just like kind of some filler like low points, you know what I mean? But there are good songs on it. Utopia was great though. I'm actually surprised you like it. Like I didn't really think that it would be your style, to be honest, just because it's like really experimental kind of thing, which I'm not saying you don't like experimental.
I can't remember a single song off of Utopia.
Really?
Like no shade on Utopia. I like the album, but like it to me is just a good, throw it on while I'm cleaning, throw it on while I'm working, because that's what I was working. Just bang the album. It just played through. Cool. It was a good sound, good vibe. To me, there's no jams. Nothing.
Jams, really?
Nothing stuck out like, oh, that song hits. It was just like, this is a good listen.
Did you fuck with God's Country? Do you remember that one?
I don't know what that is.
Like it has that like sample that's like wah 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 wah. You don't.
No,
that doesn't stick out. I feel like that one really like sticks out. Like that would be the one that you remember.
It was cool to listen to while I was working.
It was originally a Kanye song, and I guess it had been like leaked for a while, like just the beat though, and then like it was from like an old Kanye session. I guess he like sold it to Travis or gave it to him or something.
A lot of the albums sounded like Kanye.
Yeah, well that's
like
all
I remember. I remember being like, this album reminds me of Kanye.
Yeah, that was like a big discussion. A lot of people like were calling it like Yeezus Light and stuff like that, and like which I don't agree with. I don't know.
I did. That's a good assessment of it. It reminded me of Kanye, just not as good.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you think
this reminds me of Kanye?
Do you think it takes away from it being a good album in itself though? Like if it's just like like in a bubble, like it like separate from like its influences, just standing on its own.
Probably.
Like I still think it's a good album. I think it'll age
good.
well.
I don't. To me, in like 5 years, I won't think about Utopia at all. I won't even be like, oh, that was an album I listened to at one time.
I feel like I like it more than Astroworld. Just a smidge more.
I didn't really listen to Astroworld either. So.
No? Well, that has like what songs would you know off that? Like, like Stargazing, obviously Sicko Mode and to be honest, I don't really like that song as much as everyone else. I hear people talk about it like it was this like grand moment in Travis Scott's discography, and like
it was probably one of his bigger breakthrough moments.
It's definitely his biggest song, I think. I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure it's his biggest song, like numbers wise, like commercially, but like I don't know. I feel like he has much better music. You know what I mean? Like 90210 off the top of my head. Like Antidote. Like he has so many good like, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a disservice to Travis Scott to like call that the pinnacle of like quality in his discography. You know what I mean? Like, it's not his best song. It's decent. I liked it when it came out. I feel like I kind of grew off it as we went, like, or as time went on.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Travis Scott guy. I respect him. He's got a cool sound.
I mean,
It's kind of Kanye.
have you listened to Rodeo?
Yeah.
That's a fantastic. That's like a game changing album. That's like the high. That's like you know, like
That was peak.
like the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy of his. Even though to me that's not Kanye's best album
It's
in my
not,
opinion.
no, I
but like a
disagree
lot
as
of
well.
people feel like it, like, you know, that's like the benchmark they compare all his other work to, and Rodeo is kind of that for Travis Scott. So it's
Yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like I liked Utopia a lot. I think to me it might be his second best album after Rodeo. I feel like, and I don't think that's like a hot take. I feel like I've seen like other people say similar things. It might not be like the majority, but like I feel like as it ages, it's gonna like settle there. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll ever top Rodeo, but I think he did better than Astroworld on this one.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we kind of like segued off of that, but like I kind of wanted to like talk about, like, do you think hip hop is finally in its decline commercially? Like, cause like we said, like there hasn't been. It took like 7-8 months for there to be a #1 album. There still hasn't been a #1 rap song this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, still hasn't been. So it's like, do you think like we're finally witnessing? Because like rap has been the dominant genre in like the
past
mainstream
probably
consciousness
decade.
for like like roughly, like, give or take. And like now I feel like it's about to be like replaced, which happens. You know, it's happened with rock music and everything before.
Well, yeah, I would say it's on a decline in a sense, but like it's kind of just blending. So
Yeah, like, and I even feel like even like quote unquote mainstream audiences now are like starting to get sick of certain things and be like we've heard this before, we're tired of it, and like people like really want something new now.
yeah, I just for like the mainstream stuff, I just feel like, you know, pop music will forever be the biggest thing because it's just the pop.
Of course,
music,
because
right?
like
It takes from all genres of music and just whatever's catchy and whatever's working is pop music.
yeah, and like for all the shitty pop music out there, there is like a lot of amazing pop music too. Like there's
yeah.
like I feel like pop music gets a bad rap, especially like within the hip hop community. Like as soon as you like go pop, that's like considered a bad thing, and it's like I don't think it should be necessarily. Like I get like selling out your whole like sound and like completely changing your image and like the type of music you make just for like a quick paycheck, you know, that's lame and it's not going to go over well. Like, but there's ways of like incorporating elements and like transitioning to like, you know what I mean? Like I think to me like the best artists of all time have been pop artists, you know what I mean? Like obviously we have like the absolute highs of hip hop and like, you know, the best in the genre, like people like, you know, like Eminem, Jay-Z, Kanye, Lil Wayne, that are like pretty much universally regarded as being like all-time greats. But it's like most of my favorite artists and like I guess ones that are universally regarded as being like great have been pop artists. And yet pop music seems to get the worst like rap from people.
Yeah.
It's like a weird phenomenon.
Once you accept it and you're like, I mean, pop music it's just different, just catchy.
After
just
hip
goes.
hop like kind of fades from being like the biggest genre in the world, what do you think's next? What do you think's like the next big thing, or do you think it's something that like some new thing that we haven't even heard yet?
Yeah, probably something we haven't heard yet. Because besides like what, rock music isn't making a comeback anytime soon. Like nobody, like mainstream wise, nobody cares.
To be fair,
Country
rock music
music
never left.
No, but like for like a '1 like genre, like
hear
rock
that.
music, country, they never left. They still have core fan bases, but they're not gonna come take over, like do anything new that we haven't seen, right? So
Yeah, imagine like country just like takes over again out of nowhere.
man. Kill me.
I would not. Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about outside, like there's good like it's just that quote unquote classic or like original like country sound. It's just been done to death. And it's like when people like start experimenting and bringing other things and other sounds into it, that's when it like kind of becomes interesting and like tolerable for me. Because it's like I'm not a big country music guy in general. Like I I've said to you, like, I liked early Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift's country stuff more than her pop stuff. You have
The GOAT.
Yeah, you have some crazy views on Taylor Swift.
Listen, Taylor Swift is the greatest pop artist of all time. Said it. It's done. Boom. It's out there.
Now,
unbeatable.
Now that's not shocking for me to hear because he said it to me many times, but like,
there's no argument.
He thinks like he's saying like better than Michael Jackson.
Better than Michael Jackson.
Like unironically, it's like
what are you gonna say? Oh, he made Thriller. You know who else actually made Thriller? Quincy Jones really made Thriller. It wasn't Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Swift, what'd she make? She made her album, sold more of it.
I could say that Taylor Swift's a better writer than Michael Jackson.
Sold more, toured harder.
But it's the streaming era. It's easier. Dude. It's easier to get higher numbers now. That's why Drake's as big as he is. He'd still be huge, but like that's why he's beating like Michael Jackson and the Beatles records. Because streaming makes it easier to like. Bro. It makes it easier to chart. It does. NBA YoungBoy has the most gold songs in history.
That's baked. There's no other.
Like you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's like it's either, you know what I mean? Like
well, I'm just saying.
And again, like I said, like I'm not trying to be like a Taylor Swift hater. I'm not. But it's just like she, you know, she has certain things.
Album for album, better discography, hands down. Hands down. Boom.
I've said this though, like I don't think Taylor Swift has a better album than Bad.
More number one songs.
Again, though, that goes back to the streaming thing. Where would she be at without streaming?
But like, does it though? Because when he put out a song, everybody else also had to put out a song the same way. His song went number one. If anything, it makes it harder because there's more people putting out songs that are competing in the same area at the same time.
But that also kind of works in favor of my argument because it's like when Michael Jackson was releasing music, it's like it was harder to get it out. Like there was a like anybody can drop music these days and like get a share of the market.
But nobody's doing the numbers like that.
That's true.
Like I mean, we all put out music. I ain't fucking selling Taylor Swift numbers. I ain't streaming like Taylor Swift.
I'm not yet.
But like Michael Jackson, you know, he had less competition, so his music was more everywhere. More people were like, "Oh, that's the best stuff out there." Taylor Swift's got the best shit out there, and there's so much of it, so much pop music, so much everything, and she's still killing people in the charts.
What do you have to say to people who say Kanye made Taylor famous?
It made it easier for her to transition into pop music. Because people still looked at her as a country person, and then like it opened more eyes, and then she came back with an album that was just all pop hits, and while she had that attention, so it definitely helps.
Yeah, I feel like, and you know, Kanye fans hate Taylor and vice versa, and like I feel like Kanye,
I love Taylor.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Like, but like a lot of those fan bases are like at odds most times, and it's like Kanye fans want to like really overstate how much of an impact. It definitely helped. Like any viral moment like that is going to help get attention. It definitely helped both of them. Well, at first everyone hated Kanye, but I think long term it helped them.
Kanye thrives in the hate.
Absolutely.
So when he gets hate, he's like, yes, this is what I needed. He's a heel. Yeah. You know, and it was a perfect work. It worked perfectly for both parties.
Yeah, no, definitely. And and I think like I said, it wasn't everything. Like Kanye fans would be like, she's famous because of that. Like for one, she was already famous before that. Not as famous, obviously,
super
but like
huge, yeah. But it's more of a country following.
But I feel like she still would have like, you know what I mean? Like went in that pop direction and like cultivated a fan base, and like maybe it wouldn't have happened as quick, or like maybe you know what I mean? It wouldn't have been the same amount of eyes starting out. But it's like she would have been fine without that incident.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure she still views it as a mostly negative. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they just both laugh about it at this point in time in their lives.
Oh, that's true. Do you remember when Kanye had the line like that said like I made that bitch famous? And like did you hear about all the like fucking like behind the scenes shit where like all those like phone calls came out where like he, you know what I mean? You do know all that stuff. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were like kind of paying attention to that stuff at that time.
I thought it was just funny. Like they're just trolling on everyone. But yeah, I'll stand by that statement to my grave.
Well, obviously we know Taylor Swift is your number one, but like besides Taylor Swift, like who's your like favorite artist, like, or one of your favorite artists that isn't a rapper?
Isn't a rapper.
And obviously, I know it'd be easier to answer if you could just say Taylor, but you already said that, so it's like
you took Taylor Swift from me. Oh gosh.
stuff for you. You know, for me, it's Prince.
Oh yeah.
We've had this whole conversation too.
I mean,
like I'll take Prince over Michael Jackson, truthfully, just as far as the music goes. But
to me, they're both the same. They both had like
kind of occupied different spaces.
I mean, Prince was a better musician.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was a better dancer, depending on how
Better
you look at that.
performer in a way.
But like their songs, like their catalogs, like they both had really big hits on albums. But to me, I wouldn't go back and like listen to a full album and be like, yo,
For either of them,
nonstop. Yeah, they're just, they got good songs. Like I would listen to a Prince greatest hits, and I would listen to a Michael Jackson greatest hits. But I don't want to listen to Thriller. I don't want to listen to Purple Rain or whatever the fuck his album was called.
Speaking of Purple Rain's a great album, man. It is. And
I mean,
it's kind of my favorite thing to listen to from front to back, but like a lot of people will say that it's not his best. Because it was like a soundtrack thing, I believe, right? Because he made like
the best
movie.
thing he did was the soundtrack to the Batman movie. Trust. That's a good song. The Joker. Let's go. Who do you trust? Hubba hubba hubba.
You know what I just saw recently? I just saw clips from. I didn't even watch the whole movie, but I just saw clips of Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Great movie.
Yeah, like
fantastic job.
I was talking to someone recently about how like when that first came out that like he was casted, like I just remember people losing their minds and just thinking like this is gonna be awful, and then it ended up being pretty good from what I heard, like I said, and I like saw clips of it for the first time recently. And I was like, this is good. Like it's not what I would expect from Batman typically, but like it works.
Oh, it was a great movie. Yeah, as a diehard Batman guy, when I first seen him cast, I was like, I mean like. Whatever, he's the Twilight guy. That's all I know. What else did he do, right? Like, he was the Twilight guy.
Oh my god, I just recently watched the first 3 Twilight movies too.
Oh,
girlfriend got me doing that.
Terrible.
You know what? Honestly,
no, don't even try to justify it. Don't even do it to yourself. Don't even do it to yourself.
Listen, the first 2 movies suck.
Terrible.
The third one?
Dog shit.
No, it got better. It got better. I'm not gonna lie. The third one, not as bad as the first 2. The first one pissed me off because it was like the color correction, like whoever edited it, bro, like they made the shit like blue as hell. That pissed me off.
The
more
story
than, like, the
pissed
story.
me off.
The story's dog
terrible,
shit.
stupid.
What's her name? Stephanie Meyer, the author, I think.
I don't know.
She's a fucking she's a terrible writer.
So I only ever watched the first 2 movies, so I guess I can't talk about the third one.
Okay.
But I wasn't allowed to watch them. So me, Siobhan, and Mike were watching them, and me and Mike were watching it and ragging it while it was happening. Like, this movie sucks. It's stupid. We're just talking through the whole movie, but like about like just doing commentary basically. And then she was like, all right, whatever. We watched the second one and we're still doing commentary. And she was like, all right, I'm not watching these movies with you guys if you're just going to talk through them. And we were like, well, they're so bad. Like, I couldn't sit here for 2.5 hours and seriously watch this. Are you kidding me?
Okay, yeah. When I was watching with my girlfriend, I kept making fun of like bad dialogue and like shitty plot things, and like she's kind of like laughing at it too, you know what I mean? But like I was getting annoying with it and doing it like too often, and she was just like, "Shut up and watch." And I'm just like, but like it's so easy to like make fun of.
It's too
like,
easy.
It's so easy. But like I said though, in the third movie there was actually like some decent like dialogue and like lines that I was like, okay, that was actually pretty good. Like there's honestly like a noticeable difference. Like honestly, I wouldn't say it's a good movie or
How many
anything, but
movies
it's
are
better.
there?
There's 5. There's
Oh my god,
Yeah.
5 too many.
the first 3 are like the first 3 novels, and then the last one is like the last novel split into 2 parts because I guess there was just so much in it they had to make 2 movies to cover it all.
The Lord of the Rings strategy.
Have you still not seen Oppenheimer?
No, still ain't up on the scene.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The movie was so good.
No.
So goddamn good. It's about to hit like 900 million at the box office.
Back to Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Did you see that she outsold every pre-sale order for her movie? She
She's a
outsold
movie?
fucking Spider-Man, bro.
She's a movie?
Yeah, she's got a movie, her concert. Her movie.
It's a concert movie?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
one of
coming to the
those.
theaters in October. And It already has like over like hundreds of millions of pre-sales. She just outsold Spider-Man, which was the highest selling movie for pre-sales by like 20 million.
Oh, you know what we should talk. You know what we should talk about.
Crushing
We're for those who are watching that don't know, we're in Canada, and Taylor Swift, is finally doing a Canadian leg in her tour. What she's doing 6 dates, right? And they're all in Toronto.
All in Toronto.
So 6 dates. That's all Canada's getting. Now, keep in mind, for those who don't know, Canada has a population of about 40 million, like a little less than 40 million, as of 2022, I think. Anyways, is when the data was collected. Anyways, so when tickets went on sale for the Canadian dates, there were, what was it, 30 million? Over 31 million
pre-sale requests.
Yeah, like people in line to get tickets for those Canadian shows.
I did not get them.
No, yeah, this guy was in the line. He did not. He was very upset. It's 500 or 50,000 people per show, right?
Per show. So that's only like
300,000 people out of 31 million who requested to get tickets are going to get to see
Turns out a lot
Taylor.
of us are unhappy.
It's
biggest artist.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, those, like we've talked about this too. It's those 31 million weren't all Canadians. It wasn't like 31 million of the 40 million Canadians in Canada.
All over the world,
like people
obviously,
who didn't get tickets in their own country who want to like travel to like see her at some point. But it's still a fucking crazy statistic just to think about, like
who are these 9 million people in Canada that don't like Taylor Swift?
I'm not even one of them. I was going to be like, I'm one of them, but I'm really not. Like, I do like Taylor Swift. It's just not to that level. But still, it's like...
To be honest, it's probably in a benefit. I probably wouldn't financially recover from that either.
Yeah, I know.
But I would have done it.
Didn't you say you had, like, you were just... Was it... I might be misremembering. Did you say you had, like, a credit card and you would just put it all on it or something?
I would have maxed myself out and put myself in debt for that. I would have regretted it 5 years down the road. 10 years, 20 years, definitely been like, fuck.
Never financially recover from this.
But, damn, what a good night that would have been.
I feel for you, buddy. Believe me, it would have been memories. And you know what? Memories matter more than money at the end of the day.
Memories over money. Gang, gang.
That's like a good song title. I feel like it'd be a little corny, though. But, like, I feel like, I don't know. It'd be good. But it's just, like, a little... almost played out, but it's like it depends. I guess it depends on what it sounds like, but like
get the hardest, just bass drops.
Get the fucking like the Florida distorted 808 bass, just like literally like. Oh, I fucked that up. But
nothing but auto tune. Could be hard now.
Yeah, just like sing like Justin Bieber over like the hardest like Florida like aggressive ass like Ronnie J trap beats. I think that's what's next. That's what's gonna replace hip hop. Is really aggressive rap instrumentals with like just angelic vocals.
Don't give them our formula. That's all you can know.
Oh, bro. So we talked a bit about this before too. AI music. Have you heard? I sent you a bit of it, but like how much? I don't know how much you got to listen to, but like the Plankton and like SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs.
They're the
like,
great.
Rapping.
Everyone I see of them, I listen to them. Amazing. They're the greatest things ever.
And like you always see those like jokes too on like in the TikTok comments. It's like AI is dangerous, and then like people use it for evil, and then it's like what people use AI for, and it's just fucking Plankton rapping.
They're gonna put us out of jobs. They're gonna steal our thoughts.
That's actually. Did you hear about
the writer's strike and everything?
No. That's like Hollywood and stuff. But like
isn't that AI based? I don't know.
It's like the Writers Guild of America. It's like people who write like TV shows.
Isn't that about AI or something?
Part of it. No. You're right. Part of it is about that. That's like a part of the reason why they're going on strike, because they want like protection from like AI being able to steal their jobs type thing. But they also want to be paid better and stuff, because like a lot of people, I think there's misconceptions that like writers in Hollywood get like a ton of money, like, and a lot of them don't. A lot of them might like make like less than you or me at whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, or any other person. It's like not all like they just want to be paid more for their work. It's like you got to think they're writing. Without a writer in like any show in Hollywood, there's no show. You know what I mean? Without the writers, like they should be compensated more. Like they're generating billions of dollars really in the whole industry, and they're getting like pennies compared to that.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say before is like, you remember we talked about it before. Remember that AI Drake and Weeknd song?
AI Drake.
Did we not talk about
I don't
that?
know
Well,
if we talked
there was
about
this
now.
there was this song. It was by a guy named Ghostwriter. He popped up on TikTok and he just made an AI song with Drake and Weeknd like features, you know, like fake voice AI thing, right? And it went super viral and like people thought it was a real song for like a while until it got cleared up, and it got like, he had it on Spotify and all that stuff. It got like a couple million streams and then it got taken down for like copyright shit. But like the other day a news thing came out and it was like saying that that song was eligible for a Grammy because a human wrote it.
Damn.
So, which is scary, but it does have like a happy ending. Like, and not that I like the song was cool. It's cool what AI can do, but it's like, they did end up like a day later, like coming out and it was like the song is no longer up for, you know, Grammy consideration because of like, you know, because of like all the AI stuff and like, you know, stipulations that come with that. So, but it was like crazy for like 24 hours there. Like people were just going nuts like online because like this AI song might be able to be nominated for a Grammy. But like, and it just circles back to what you were saying about like like the AI stuff is it's scary, man. Like it really could put artists out of jobs, like, you know, if there isn't like, you know, protection put in place. Like it's the same principle as the Writers Guild strike too, because it's like that what's that song, that Drake song, Search and Rescue? Did you hear that?
No.
It was the one with like the Kim Kardashian sample.
Definitely not.
Okay, fair. It wasn't that good. It was like one of the great
Yeah,
songs.
I'm not listening to Drake.
Yeah, I feel
Although
it.
I will say, Drake was once alright.
Yeah, I love like 2009 to 2013,
When he was
2014
rapping,
Drake.
if he's rapping, he's
Bro,
alright.
I
If
heard
he's
a leaked-
singing about whatever he's doing, I'm not into it.
I
That's
like
me,
some of
though.
Drake's singing songs. I like One Dance and like, you know, what's that like the hits, you know what I mean?
I don't know that song.
You know that, you know One Dance, bro, like the I need a one dance.
Oh, One
got a
Dance.
Hennessy in my
I just need
hand.
one dance.
Yeah.
I need ants in my pants.
That's a good song, man. It is a good song. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Anyways, oh yeah, there's a leaked Drake verse on All of the Lights by Kanye and Rihanna. No, bro, this leaked Drake verse was, I just heard it was like on an Instagram post. It was crazy. Like
Hard?
it's like, it's hard as hell, bro. Like I
Is it
would
legit?
show you it
Or
right
is this
now,
AI?
but like,
What are we talking about?
no, this is old. This is from like the era when that song came out, like early 2010s Drake, and bro was rapping his ass off, man. Like it's like Drake in rare form, bro. And it's like, honestly, I wish, like, you know how I am with Drake. I'm kind of a big Drake hater, at least
I'm a
recent
hater
Drake.
too.
But
Drake
like,
hater.
man, he was rapping his ass off. Like, I really wish that verse had been on the song because it would have added to it so much. It was so goddamn good. I'm gonna show it. I would show it to you right now, but like, obviously, we get like struck down. But like, I will show you it after this. Like, it's a great, like,
Yeah,
great,
okay.
like if whoever's listening to this, if you haven't heard this verse, like, look up Drake, All the Lights leaked verse, and like, just listen to that shit. That shit is hard.
I won't give my stamp yet.
No, trust me though, you will. Like, I'll be shocked if you have anything bad like to say about it, because like it's just like a really good. He kind of sounds like Kanye on it. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't take away from the fact it's Drake, but like he's just like rapping that like aggressive Kanye style, bro. It's like, but bro, this is the thing with me, is like I'm always gonna keep getting off topic because like I'll branch off from one thing to another. But yeah, a lot of that's another thing too, is like leaks in music. Do you listen to leaks at all?
Not usually, no.
No. There was like an Eminem leak a while back. I don't think I ended up listening to it, but like I figured if anything, Eminem would be the one who you listen to when it comes to leaks.
No, not necessarily. Usually I want to wait until I hear it legit.
Yeah, and I think that's respectful. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of fans are like really entitled. Like they feel like, oh, bro, like I know you're not like a huge fan of him, but like Playboi Carti, his fans are so fucking entitled. Like, don't get me wrong, Playboi Carti, like, I think he hates his fans. I genuinely think he might hate his fans, because like the way he like does not communicate and just goes long ass times without dropping music, not saying a fucking word and being mysterious and shit. But like his music will leak and his fans will like I shouldn't just like this is just one example. There's a lot like Juice WRLD fans are like this too. There's like a lot of artists I can name, but like they just feel like entitled to the music. So then like people in management like say like, well, the music's not coming out now because y'all leaked it, so it's not coming out officially. And then they'll like be like what the fuck, like, you know what I mean, and acting like, you know what I mean, like they did nothing wrong. It's like, bro, like, well, you're supporting leaks, like you're ruining the official release. Like I get it, listening to leak music and be, but like acting like you're entitled to music and like getting mad at like management and like people and all that stuff. It's like you're not doing any favors. You know what I mean?
You don't think that's just their game plan? Is they
Sometimes.
leak their own stuff and then go, oh, you guys love this stuff so much that we can't release.
Well, like,
the
have you
official-"
heard the like? Well, some artists do it right. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like Lil Uzi. You ever hear that like the I Just Want to Rock song? Like you hear that shit?
I've heard that.
Yeah, like that song leaked first, went viral, and then Uzi immediately dropped it. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like it was going viral. People wanted to hear it, and it's like, you know what I mean? That's why like Cardi fans get mad, because he doesn't do that. But like at the same time, like no artist is like obligated to do that.
Do you think?
You know, no artist is obligated to like, you know what I mean? Just go at their, you know, like at their fans' whims or whatever. Like, you know, like artists want to create things the way they want to create them and put them out the way they want to put it out at the end of the day. You know, people enjoying the music is a byproduct. You know what I mean? Like artists in most cases make music for themselves. Like I know that's cliche, but it's the truth. It really is the truth. Like that's usually what it is. So it's like getting mad at an artist because they're not doing things the way you want is just stupid to me. I think so anyways.
Oh, just appreciate it when it comes to you.
Yeah, like
It's a gift.
Exactly, man. I feel like people aren't grateful at all. Like,
well, that's why music is slowly going down, right? Because it's just getting.
The internet just makes everything so accessible for people to talk the most like loudly, and you know, I don't even think it's like a majority of people. It's always just like a loud minority on the internet. You know what I mean? And the rest of the people are just sitting back, like
just chilling.
like just yeah, like. I feel like more people are sensible than not, but it's just the ones who aren't are just really loud about it. I know you. Again, I know you don't listen to them like me, but it's like they dropped an old X EP recently, an old EP from like 2016. They dropped it on streaming services for the first time, and people that I'm gonna ramble about this for a sec. Dead artists fans are the most brain dead fucking people. Again, it's like a loud minority. It's a loud minority. But like every time X's team like drops like old music on streaming, they're like, stop milking him. Like stop. Let him rest. It's like, bro, putting out old music on streaming is not fucking affecting any. You know, nobody's rolling in their fucking grave over that. I promise you. All right, I promise you. Two, these artists want their families to be taken care of. You know, obviously sometimes the label's getting a bigger cut than they should, or like own the majority or whatever. But like a lot of these artists, like especially nowadays, like they own their masters and they're, you know what I mean? Their family is getting the majority of the money. But you still see fans like talking about like milking and such like that. Like it drives me nuts. But there are certain scenarios like where like the, did you listen to that Pop Smoke album? The not Shoot for the Moon, but the one Faith, I think it was called.
Yep.
Shit was kind of ass.
It was pure ass.
At no fault of Pop Smoke.
No.
But it was just, but like the album before that was also posthumous and it was great. It was a great album. Great listen.
Yeah.
Even that style of music isn't really my thing. Like I'm not huge into like.
I'm not crazy about it.
But it was still a good album. It was well done. And like I liked a lot of songs on it. It was respectful. Would have been a perfect way to end off his career. You know, his legacy or whatever. And then, you know what I mean?
If you want to dribble, if you find some more gold in the vault and you want to dribble that out, you don't need to make an
out
album
like
out of nothing.
Like
you don't, they're like, we need to make a whole album.
The industry right now is built for singles. Why put out an album of unfinished shit when the industry doesn't even demand that? The industry doesn't even give a fuck about albums like that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you shouldn't make albums, especially if you're a living, breathing artist that cares about their art and wants to put together a body of work, but like
make an album.
Yeah,
but don't smash a bunch of unfinished stuff together and call it an album to try and grab some cash or do whatever they're doing. Or like, I know, you know, people, it's just.
And that's what they did with X's last album too. See, like his album before that was really short and stuff, and like people said it was unfinished, but it wasn't. If you're an X fan, like you just know that that's just how X made music. Like the album Skins It was a good album. It was only like 20 minutes long. It was like 9 songs or 10 songs or something, right? And it was good for what it was, you know what I mean? But that album was meant for like core fan base, and like it ended up being the first album that came out right after he died. So it was like his so much attention on it, and a lot of people who were like casual fans or like didn't really know about him were like disappointed because it was just kind of like a short, concise, small thing. But then Bad Vibes Forever is the album that came after that, and that shit was literally just the same as Faith. Like, it was just hobbled together, like, unfinished shit with, like, that should have never been put out. No. You're lucky that most of your favorite artists are alive. I can't say the same. No, I shouldn't say that. I only have 2 artists that I was, like, a really big fan of that died, and that was X and Mac Miller, but still.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that.
It sucked ass, man. Especially Mac, because like Mac Miller is like, he started off kind of like making kind of not whack, but just like kind of like frat boy rap music like early on, and like the way he developed his music and like artistry was just so good, like so good, because he like I think Circles, which was his one posthumous album, it was like mostly done. I think it's his best album. A lot of people say Swimming. I'm guessing you're not super familiar with his newer catalog, but like, and even I went back
I'm not familiar with anything.
And I even went back to his album Good AM or Good Morning. I don't really know how to say it, but a lot of bangers on that, man. Like, he has this one song with Chief Keef called Cut the Check, and I bump that all the time. It's so good. But yeah, like, and how like, cause I was a fan of Mac Miller since 2010. So that's like 8 years I was a fan of him. And then here, I remember, like, I've told this story to people before. I remember exactly where I was when I found out he died. I was at the gym. And, like, this makes me sound like an edgy little fucking prick, but I was genuinely just felt emotional about it because, like, an artist that I was, like, a big fan of. I was at the gym, and I read the news on TMZ, and I was like, damn, that's actually really fucked up. Like, that just pissed me off. Like, that just put me in a bad mood. And I went in, and I just, like, used the punching bag at my gym, and I just used it with no gloves until my knuckles bled.
Bad ass.
It wasn't even. I was literally just like an edgy fucking like, and that was 5 years ago. Oh my god, that was 5 years ago. Okay, so I was 21, and so I wasn't a kid, but like I was young still, and like that I just like was being an edgy little fuck. I think like, but it just felt like I needed to release something. You know what I mean? Because it was like a couple months before that, like X died, who was like my favorite artist of like period at that time, and it's just like.
Everybody dying.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. It is fucked up, but
yeah,
yes, yeah. Be thankful your favorite artists are alive for now.
Everybody's gonna die at some point, but they're still making
some
music.
Point. But that's the thing too. That's like the worst part. Like too is like obviously you don't know them like on a personal level, but it's like think of like the music that like the world lost out on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They were active.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. It's the worst. But yeah, no, it's and a lot of, another thing too is just how like the industry the industry does milk dead artists, but it's not in like the way of like I was saying before. Sometimes like families, like the family's getting the money in a lot of these cases, but then there's like Tupac. You know, I don't know if you're familiar, but he has like 4 or 5 like posthumous albums. Bro, they put out a posthumous Biggie song like a couple months ago. Like I forget, I don't even remember what it was. I just remember seeing it on What's Dropping, but like there was like literally, you don't even need to listen to it to know that shit was ass. It was just like
it was bad.
Yeah. So there is 2 sides to it, I get, but like I hate when people just don't like know what's going on and they just like talk it out of their ass and just assume. You know what I mean? Like that's what's going on when they don't actually know a fucking thing. That just drives me nuts in general, but especially when it comes to like the music industry and all these like, you know, behind the scenes things.
Yeah, it's shady. There's a lot of shady business.
Of course. Always is, but it's just a part of it. We talked about this. You said you have another controversial opinion on these on this topic, so I want to bring it up. Superbowl halftime shows.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about those in general?
They're the best part about the Super Bowl if your team loses.
Yeah, so I asked you off camera, like, what your favorite halftime show was at the Super Bowl, and you said,
Well, personally, like, how could you not like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent? Like, that's me. Like, that's the shit. That's the tits. That's the bees and the knees. You know?
But in general, you're not really a fan of Super Bowl halftime shows.
No, I love them. No, I do.
You do?
No, yeah, I love them. I think they're. I'm usually jamming. Like this past one was
Okay,
Rihanna.
okay.
I was the only one in the room that was like, guys, I'm not playing poker. Let me just vibe.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood then. I misunderstood. But yeah, like I said to you, like Prince is my favorite. Like that's just
I
such an
just
iconic.
didn't think his was the best. Is all I disagreed.
I just think like I've seen comments that say like God was on his side with that one, bro.
Well, it rained right at the right moment.
Yeah,
everything was
isn't
cool.
Isn't that to this day still the only Super Bowl where it's rained?
I couldn't say that.
I believe
yes or no.
that's a fact. I could obviously.
It's
don't quote me on
not the
that.
most memorable one.
You don't think?
Janet Jackson's boob. That happened.
Yeah.
Justin
you're right.
Timberlake.
You're right.
Her boob. Everyone knows about that.
Do you think they did it on purpose?
Definitely. Like, why would you not? Nobody would have talked about Janet Jackson's halftime show the next day, anything positively at all. They would have been like, what? No, I don't care. Janet Jackson, what the hell? Justin Timberlake, he wasn't even that big. Was he? I don't know. Maybe he must have been.
What year was that? He was like coming up. He was young.
He was on the upcome. Yeah, he probably had a couple of good songs. It was probably right after he left NSYNC or something.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, well, it would have had to have been because he wouldn't just been there by himself if he hadn't established a bit of a name for just his solo career at that point. But so
you know, people had to talk about them. So
I mean,
boob, bam.
My favorite is Prince. Your favorite is Dr. Dre and Co. And we agree that the boob is the most iconic. Oh shit.
Also, just fun fact, Justin Timberlake, the only artist to do the halftime show 3 times.
That's interesting. Who else did he do it with?
He did it with he did it by himself.
Okay, yeah. I thought
he did it solo.
Maybe I was
he
misremembering
did it with Janet Jackson, and he popped on there. I think he did it twice by himself.
Did he?
I think they were just like, fuck. That was the year that they asked Jay-Z to do it, and Jay-Z was basically like, nah, and then dissed the NFL, and then came back to work for the NFL.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I feel like a lot of people forgot about that.
And then, you know, they were like, we don't have any good relationships with anybody. Justin Timberlake, what do you think? And he was like, I'd love to sing and dance for you guys again. He came through and did it again.
Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I just lost it, man. I guess that's probably as good a time as any to call it. I think
something to think about, huh?
Yeah.
Leave them with something to think about.
Yeah. Let us know what your favorite halftime show is at the Super Bowl.
If you like any at all.
If you do, if you don't, I'll be surprised. I feel like
most of them
are
pretty bad.
Most of them are. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
But they're
statement.
entertaining. Like, if you weren't entertained by Katy Perry on a giant lion or whatever, tiger or whatever it was, sharks dancing, they create memes, right? Like, why not?
Oh, didn't Taylor Swift get offered in decline?
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
She's selling those stadiums out already. She don't need the NFL.
You don't think she'll ever do it?
Probably
maybe
not.
when her career is like petering out, maybe.
That would be sad, but yeah.
That would be sad. You don't want her to do it.
No, why not? I don't need Taylor Swift and football together. I like both things. Keep them separated.
I hear you. It's like food on the plate.
Yeah. Although if it did happen, I'd be watching. Who am I?
Yeah, of course. I know. All right. I don't really know how to end a podcast, so I'll just say it's Nomad Jay, and we're signing off. Peace.